afternoon, good afternoon, everybody. This is Ed Crow. Thanks for coming on today. Appreciate you joining me. I'll just waste another minute or so here before we get started. Couple things to go over, I guess. First of all, we record these webinars, so we will send the recording out to everybody that registers. For future reference, we always do webinars on Wednesdays and Thursdays at 1 o'clock. So if you want to join a future webinar, because we do them on various topics, usually surrounding and around Medicare. If you want to attend a future webinar but you can't make it, just register and you'll get the recording, and that way you can watch it when you'd like. The other thing I'd say is anybody who has questions as we go through, which I imagine this one will generate some questions, send the questions into the webinar and I will answer them at the end. And I see we got a bunch of people still coming on, but I think I'm going to get started. So for those who are just got on, I mentioned this earlier, but this webinar should go about 20 minutes, I would guess. So, all right, so today we're going to talk about an alternative to GoodRx. Been working on this for a while. It is approved. We just got to get it ready to distribute. So today, I'm simply going to tell you about how it works, kind of the highlights, some detail. I'm not going to give you the company name yet until we actually roll it out. But what you can do is when the webinar is over, just send us an email. We'll put you on our list. And as soon as it's ready for distribution, we'll send everything out to you. So I should give you everything you need to know today to have a really good feeling of what it's about, how much it pays, all those types of things. So you can, decide if it's something you want to do or not. I think for most people, it will be something that they'd like to add. But anyhow, so we'll give a quick overview of how agents use GoodRx and how they utilize it and why. For those of you on the call that aren't using GoodRx, it's they don't pay us anything, but it is certainly a good option to use. We'll talk about this alternative program that we're going to roll out that does pay us, how it works, talk about contracting, rules of the road with it, your role as an agent or agency, and then compensation. And again, should be able to do all that, I think, in about 20 minutes. So those who are just coming on now, if you missed the beginning first few minutes of the presentation, don't worry, you'll get the recording. So no big deal. Okay, so before we get started and talk about this, for those not familiar with Crow & Associates, we're an FMO out of Brookfield, Connecticut, licensed in all 50 states. We certainly concentrate on Medicare, but we do all lines of business. This is an example. So all your standard lines that FMOs do, final expense, term, UL, annuities, ancillary products. But our focus mainly is Medicare and training Medicare agents, helping agencies build and recruit agents, and just working with all aspects of Medicare. Every agent that works with us gets access to Connecture and Sunfire. They also get our quote site. Connecture and Sunfire are the two national online enrollment platforms for Medicare, where you can enroll clients over the phone. It's not face-to-face. You can enroll them over the phone, in person, I guess, if you wanted. And you can enroll them by text and email with all the major carriers. It's all coded to you. Everything's direct to you when you use it. And you can use both systems with us for no charge. We also have a quote site that will quote all lines of business, and that includes Medicare lines, life, annuities, long-term care, final expense, with all the major carriers on one site. So it saves you a lot of time and is very handy to use. We have a free Medicare lead program. So we reimburse our agents for Medicare leads, marketing, or advertising. It's 100% reimbursement, no minimums to start, no reduction in commission. You still own your own book. We'll reimburse agents up to $500 a month, 100% of their cost up to $500 a month. That's per agent for the first 6 months. After 6 months, then it's a 50% reimbursement, but still up to $500 paid to you ongoing. That's one of our main programs. As I mentioned, with us, you have access to all lines of business, and we work with all levels, street Medicare producers, GA, MGA, SGAs, and FMOs. So we can accommodate any level. In those higher agency levels, we can help them with strategies to help grow their agency. So just a quick run through of agents in GoodRx, because like I said, there might be people on this call who don't use GoodRx even. GoodRx is, you would think, well, since they don't pay agents, how many agents, have clients use it? And it's way more than you would think. Right now, even GoodRx themselves touts about 40% of Medicare agents refer their clients at some point to GoodRx to see if they can get lower costs on certain drugs. So pretty high percentage, it's probably even a bit higher than that. The reason they do that is because, quite simply, if you're a Medicare agent and you're writing Advantage plans or supplements and PDPs, there are certain generic drugs that will fall into tier 4. Even though they're generic, they'll fall into tier 4 on the Advantage plan or on the PDP, and it can be very expensive as a tier 4. And GoodRx often will have a much lower price for those drugs, so they'll just simply tell their clients, look, fill these 3 drugs with your plan. These other 2 that your plan doesn't cover well, maybe they're out of formulary, maybe they're tier 4, you can probably get them for a lot less on GoodRx. So agents really do it a lot of times to get a sale. I mean, to save a sale. Maybe there's a plan that works perfect for an agent, for a client, but there's one drug that just strangely isn't covered well by the drug plan. You can just refer them over to GoodRx and they can get it a lot cheaper often. For generic drugs, name brand doesn't work quite as well. So anyway, it's a way you can make clients happy. Another example is maybe you have clients that are on a plan. Mid-year, they have to take a drug that they weren't taking before. The PDP or the MAPD isn't covering it well. Well, maybe they can get it for a lot less on GoodRx. So that's really why agents refer clients to GoodRx. Give you some examples of that if you're not familiar. So betamethasone cream, that's I think the cream for eczema. On most of your MAPDs and PDPs, that's usually about $70 a month. It's $29 on GoodRx. I gave a couple other examples of cream. I can't even pronounce the second one. I just know I see a lot of people take it. But on your average drug plan or MAPD, it's $100. On GoodRx, it'd be $11. Hydrocodone's a big one. Usually a tier 3, $47 or $45, depending on the plan. $12 on GoodRx. Your Prazols and those kind of creams, I mean, it depends on the drug plan, but they're more than the $4 that GoodRx will want for them. And a big one is doxycycline. That's a drug that is often prescribed for Lyme disease. That's $60 on a lot of drug plans, and on GoodRx, you can usually get it for about $23, $24. So this is just a few examples, but there's endless amounts of them, of drugs that are just a lot cheaper, just getting the discount with GoodRx because they've just negotiated a much better discount than the insurance company has. So just back to my point for a minute, you got a client, suddenly they're taking betamethasone, they need it. When you ran the drug plan form, they didn't take it, so you didn't know about it. Suddenly they call you saying, hey, I got to pay $70 for this thing. You refer them over to GoodRx and they're paying $29 instead. It makes them happy. And also the cost of that then doesn't go towards the donut hole because it's being filled through a discount program that isn't insurance. So how does it work? Well, if you use GoodRx, you're familiar with this, but it's really easy. You just give the client a website, they plug in the drug name, it shows the price at every pharmacy in the area that they can get it for through GoodRx. They can either print the coupon or they can download the app, and then they just go fill it at the pharmacy. Instead of using their insurance, they use the discount program and get it cheaper. So in most scenarios, those people will still get some scripts through their PDP or MAPD, but they'll take those few that didn't price out well and they'll GoodRx them instead and save themselves a lot of money. Something like a discount plan like GoodRx won't work well with a name brand drug like your name brand blood thinners. They don't negotiate prices, so it's always going to be cheaper through the drug plan. But on generics, it certainly will. And again, when you do that, it doesn't go through doesn't count towards the donut hole, which is nice. Benefits to the agents, well, it lowers complaints, keeps your clients happy. Maybe it'll save a sale for you. The negative is there's no comp. So we're basically just throwing business to GoodRx and they're not paying us for it. So what we've come up with is a different company I won't name yet. Like I said, it's not completely finalized. So it's been approved. We're going to roll it out. So I know what it'll be offered. But at this point, it's just be a couple days too early for me to say the name of the company. But we'll use a company with similar pricing as GoodRx, often better prices. So their discounts oftentimes are lower. For example, at Walgreens, 80% of their medications are less than GoodRx's. Just like GoodRx, there's no cost to the client for this alternative. So again, you're not charging them like in the old days where you'd give somebody like an $8 a month discount plan. This costs nothing. It's the same concept as GoodRx. Like I said, their discounts are better on a lot of drugs, especially at Walgreens. You can use it at all major chains. Just depends on the chain, who will come out better, GoodRx or what we're proposing. Oftentimes what we're proposing, the company we're going to use will, but not always. It depends on the pharmacy. The difference here is if you use our alternative, you're going to get paid every time your client fills a script through it. So let me just clarify that. You got a client that's taking 5 medications, they take 3 through their drug plan or their MAPD, but the 2 that don't price out well, they take through the discount program. You're going to get paid on those 2 that they take through the discount program, and you're going to get paid every month they fill it. It's pretty easy to use and do. Basically, every agent has access to a personalized portal. You put in the prospect's name, email, and phone number. Then you email and text them the website that they can use and their ID card that they can print. Notice also goes out so they can download an app on their phone, and that way they can access the medication either through the site, they can print that card and use that at the pharmacy, or they can just use the app on their phone. Doesn't matter what the client does, whether they use the website, the ID card, or the app, it's all coded to you as the agent. So every time they fill through that discount program at the pharmacy, you get paid every time it gets filled. So they really can't get around you. The company we're going to use does not have a public site that they can go to get around you. So when you give them the information, you're going to be attached as the agent on that. When you email them, they'll have reporting that will show you who opened their email or text or who downloaded the app, and it will drip the people that didn't. It'll keep dripping them by text and email continuously until they either use it or they're removed from the drip. So it has a built-in system that will follow up. So that way, if you email or text somebody one time, they don't notice it, well, they're going to get it again, and you're going to get reporting showing who has actually accessed the information that you sent. Talked over my slide a little bit, but they have full reporting once you're set up. Again, it's going to show you who did or didn't open the email or text. And they're going to also have a really helpful report that will show, depends on the demographic, but like let's say you're doing this with a senior. It's going to show you the top 50 medications taken by seniors at that pharmacy for the last year. And it's going to show you how their discounts compete with the other discount programs out there. So for in this example, how the program we're using, how their discounted prices compete with those 50 drugs through GoodRx. This can be used for any age. So if the person's under 65, that's a different demographic, and they'll have a report specific to that as well. Again, this is a discount program. It's just like GoodRx. It's a discount. It's not an insurance product. So you don't need an insurance license to offer this to use it. Because you're not selling insurance, it's simply a discount program. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes about why it's important not to say this is insurance. When we do this, we have street level available, so there'll be a street level just like with Medicare, and then there will be agency levels as well. So just the agency levels will pay more than the street levels, and for the agencies out there, if you get set up at an agency level, then your subs could, for example, be street or a little above street, and you'd receive an override when your subs get paid. So you got sub agents, they go and distribute this discount program. Clients are filling medications through it. Your agent will get paid, and then your agency, if you'd like, will get an override, or you can have all the money go to the agency. Just depends on how you're set up internally. Okay, so this is not an insurance product, but it is pharma. It's pharmaceutical, so there are rules you must follow. They're pretty straightforward. You cannot solicit doctors, nurses, pharmacists, pharmacy techs, or interns. It is a major issue if you do. This isn't one of those suggested rules or things you should do. You absolutely cannot. You can use this program with clients, Medicare clients, under 65 clients, anybody you want, except for you have to stay away from those professionals, doctors, nurses, pharmacists, techs, or interns. You cannot give this program to them. You can't have them promote the program for you. So the best thing I would say is don't even consider them. Like, hey, can I do this with this doctor? No, if it's a doctor, I would not touch it. Best to stay away from doctors, best to stay away from anybody at a pharmacy or a medical facility. You definitely don't want that to happen. That's considered a kickback, and it's more than just, you know, filling out a module because you did something wrong. There can be all kinds of issues with that. There's a statement when we set people up that there's an attestation that has all the rules listed, and you sign off on that. All marketing and social media for this program or anything you do online must be pre-approved. So, you know, if you're going to put this on Facebook or you're going to put it on your website, you got to get it pre-approved through the organization before you post it. They do have pre-approved materials that you don't have to submit through the approval process, but if you got something special you want to put up there on social media, it'll have to be approved. And again, it's not an insurance product. These are discount plans. So you can't imply that it's one, or you can't say it's a replacement for insurance. They're terms that you have to stay away from to stay compliant. It is not hard to stay compliant with this because there really aren't many rules. They're basically here on one page. But with something like this, it's really important that you follow them. Okay, so your role as an agent when you're doing this is you can offer the program to clients, prospects of any age. By doing that, you'll save them money. You'll find that a lot of people don't realize they can do this, that they can, you know, if there's drugs that aren't covered well in their drug plan, they don't realize they can go to a site like GoodRx or the alternative we're going to use, and they can get the drug substantially less in many cases. Or maybe you got somebody who's on a high deductible health plan, or you got somebody who has no insurance at all. It can save them a great deal of money. And remember, so this isn't an insurance product, so if you want to build a downline with this, an agency, it's a lot easier than on the Medicare side, because with Medicare, obviously, people got to be licensed, appointed, and certified. Here, they don't have to be. They just got to be contracted. They don't need an insurance license. So it makes it a lot easier. All right, so let's get to compensation. It's still not quite finalized, but I feel comfortable enough that I'm close enough here to roll it out and show you. So the street rate for a street agent, individual agent, will probably be $150 per fill. We will finalize that when we roll it out. I think that'll be the number. In other words, what that means is when you use this discount program, you got a client who's filling 2 of their drugs every month at the pharmacy. And remember, the pharmacy's coded. So once they use your website, your card, or the app that you've sent them to download on their phone, it is automatically then coded in the pharmacy and will stay there and stay in your name. So that prospect goes and they are filling 2 drugs at the pharmacy, you're going to get $1.50 per fill per month. So you can do the math on that. $1.50 isn't a lot, but people, you know, if they're on maintenance medications and they're filling it every month, and they have multiple meds. I mean, I have some clients that they're taking 4 or 5 of their drugs they fill through GoodRx just for one client. So you get $1.50 per fill. One thing I will mention, if they do mail order, you only get $1.50 per mail order fill. So if they're doing a 90-day mail order, then you're just going to get $1.50 every 90 days for that one medication. But it's $1.50 for every medication they fill every month. Everything is coded to you as the agent, and once it's coded in the pharmacy, if they use that program, you're going to get paid. The average client fills, they've found, for about 5 years. So this certainly is something similar to Medicare, where it sticks on the books. It can create a lot of recurring revenue quickly for you. And right now, for a lot of us, myself included, I've been just for years sending people to GoodRx to save them money, just really building up revenue for GoodRx. And now you can actually send them to a place that'll probably save them more money, and you can make some money on it yourself, which is nice. The GA contract for this, that's for a general agency, will probably be $175. And then I think the bigger agencies will probably be at $2. So logically, if you're a bigger agency, you know, and you've got sub-agents, the sub-agents would get $1.50, the agency would get a 50-cent override, for example. Or maybe the agency has all of it, the whole $2 per fill go to them, and then they distribute to the agents. Again, that's up to the agency and how they're set up. Okay, so our next steps with this, we're hopeful to start contracting in a couple weeks. All you really need to do at this point is email us if you're interested, and we'll make a list. Once this is ready to roll out, if you inquired with us saying you're interested, we'll know, then we'll send you the information when it's ready to roll out, and we'll get it out to you. And you would email lisa@cronassociates.com or teal@cronassociates.com. So, and rest assured, if you email us, we're going to put you on the list, and once it's ready, you'll be included in that initial rollout. That's it. Kept it quick, about 20 minutes, so I was pretty close on the time. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to look and see if we have any questions. And again, for those who came on later, we recorded this, so if you missed the beginning, we'll send you the recording for anybody who attended, and we send the recording to anybody who registers it as well. So you can watch, I'll listen to the beginning if you missed some of it. All right, let's see if we have any questions. Hopefully, let's see if we have any questions. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so let's look at our questions. Can a personal email be used to introduce to an existing Medicare client? Yes, of course. It's not a Medicare. This isn't an Advantage plan. It's a discount program, so you certainly can use personal email. In fact, that's how the system works. You could email them about this program if you wanted. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Exclusive to certain states? No, it's in all 50 states. Do you have to be contracted fully or for all lines of Medicare? No, this program is completely separate from anything to do with Medicare contracting. You can just do the RX element. Certainly, we'd love you to do Medicare and stuff with us, and we can give you the lead program and those kind of things, but this is its own separate program that you could be set up as an agent for to do separately. I'm a broker and interested in social media material. How do they sign up by email link? You'll have a static link you can use for them. So there will be a link you can send them or that you could send out via social media. GoodRx has marketing materials in doctor's offices. Can we do that? I would say to stay away from it. There are certain situations where you can. I would not advise it. We'll get more clarification on that, but you know, I'd say for now to play it safe and stay away from doctor's offices. Let's see. Will there be a website in which we can view prices? Yes, it's going to work just like GoodRx, where each agent will have their own site, and that site can be used just like GoodRx to view prices at various pharmacies. It'll work in a very similar way. What about dentists? Again, I would stay away from dentists. Can you show us an example of a med using this program versus GoodRx? I can't right now because I can't announce the name of the company. But like I said, you'll see once we roll it out, it's set up in a very similar manner. In pricing, you'll be able to just check and see what you think of the prices. In a week or two, maybe I'll do another webinar where I can actually just show the name and everything, and then I'll just do a live example using my link, for example. Will there be a link that is approved that we can add to our website so people can sign up themselves? Yes is the answer to that. Is this exclusive to Crow? Yes, it is right now. Can we offer this program to existing clients? Of course, that's one of the main points of it. Do we get paid direct from the company or does it come through Crow & Associates? No, we're gonna, as you can imagine, there'll be levels here and there'll be a lot of transactions. So it won't be paid direct from the company. They don't pay the agents money, but we're going to use either Pinnacle, AmeriLife, or a vendor for it. So it won't be coming directly from Crow, it'll be paid from a vendor. Can we give out cards at the Walmart booth? So yes, you can is the answer. You can give out cards for sure, to anybody you want for that matter. However, unlike GoodRx, remember, GoodRx doesn't pay us. So GoodRx will give us a million cards if we want, and they won't charge us for them because they're not paying us. So they're happy to have us promote the program. For this, a physical card, if you want to supply of physical cards, there would be a price, a cost for the printing of the cards. One other thing I want to mention really briefly with this too, good questions, by the way. One other thing I wanted to mention briefly is that what's nice about this is if we build the program and keep promoting them and getting more and more people to fill, that can actually help with the company's negotiated rates because they are very active and they will go to that pharmacy and say, look, we've sent you, look at all the fills we've been sending you lately. We want to negotiate further on the pricing. So we can actually play an active role in helping to get the negotiated rates on the drugs even lower. However, as it stands today, like I said, is certain pharmacies, like a Walgreens, they win over GoodRx on about 80%. Somebody asked if this was a certain company. No, it is not. So I won't mention the name of the company, but just somebody asked me if this is a specific company. It isn't. It's somebody different. It looks like that's all we have for questions. And again, the company you're mentioning, they charge. This program won't cost members anything. It works just like GoodRx, where it's just a free discount site that they would use. But the difference is that this company will pay us. So again, if you have questions, feel free to call us or email us. If you want to get set up so when we roll this out, we know to just send you information, certainly just email us and let us know. You could email myself, edward@croneassociates.com, or Teal at Crone Associates, or Lisa at Crone Associates. Somebody just last question. Somebody said, I tuned in late. When will this replay be sent out? At some point today. All right. Well, I appreciate you joining me. This is a kind of a different program. We've been working on it for a while. I'm pretty excited about it, and look forward to getting people set up and moving forward with it. So appreciate you attending today. Anybody who wants to attend the webinar tomorrow, we're going to talk about Medicare Advantage Part B give back plans tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Thanks for attending, and I hope everybody has a great day.